Rooted and Rising family, welcome in, welcome in. Yes, Marco's energy is here. Sometimes you can hear him and sometimes you can't. I hear him clearly, so if I hear him clearly, that's why I say that. But his energy, Marco the dog, is here. You got to know that, right? So he helps out with these intuitive reads, right? All right, let's take a deep breath. Oh, always needed, always needed. Okay, let's ring the sound bowl. Let me move this over a little bit. Let's ring the sound bowl. Clearing out unwanted energies and interference. Mercury retrograde is real. Real for some, I guess. Story time for others. You know, speaks of communication issues, transportation issues, vehicle issues. Finding that out, right? So, ringing the sound bowl. I love the sound, it's needed. All right, Rooted and Rising, another collective read. So let's do and get those disclaimers out of the way. This is a Rooted and Rising collective read. That means, we only are going to take what resonates with us and we're going to leave what does not. Everything is not for everybody. There may be parts that do resonate with you, and it's okay just to take those parts, and others that, okay, that doesn't apply to me. Maybe it's advice for someone else, words of wisdom, just entertainment. Or if things are unfolding, because sometimes spirit will speak of things that are unfolding. It hasn't happened yet. Sometimes it doesn't resonate now, but then down the line, you're like, oh, I've heard this before, right? Okay, energies. In tarot, when using oracle, we are talking about energies, not gender, masculine energy, feminine energies. All right. The tarot deck, deals with, once again, energy. So if we have a feminine card, High Priestess is a feminine card, and we'll be talking about the energies, internal, intuitive, those kinds of things like that. It doesn't mean necessarily male, female, because the card is a feminine energy, because both male and female or whatever, can be those things. Okay. My preference is male, so you'll hear me speak that way. That does not mean I'm saying that is what your preference is. When I speak of how I speak, it is up to you to put yourself and your divine pairing in whatever energy fits you. Okay? All right, so let's move along into this collective read. I may do this every now and again. I generally don't pull ahead of time, because sometimes some readers will pull ahead of time to kind of get a feel of what, the spirit wants to, speak to the divine about today. All right, but I didn't do that today. I did feel, an oracle deck resonate with me, and because I like this book. It's the Bibliophile Oracle deck, which deals with books. Look, man, I like this book because I like the deck, and I was like, okay, let's use this deck today. So we'll start off with that Oracle deck today. This is the guidebook. This is how the box looks, just to show you. We've used it before, okay? So, returning family has seen it before, okay? When we get the cards, I will read from the guidebook. Again, people who put it together, they put it together for a reason. It's good to get their insight, but it doesn't mean that spirit won't have a message through that oracle deck that applies to, the Rooted and Rising, collective reading here. From the tarot, we're going to use the Pop Art Tarot. I won't show you the boxes over there. Looks more like that. I love this card. This is the King of Pentacles. It's wonderful that it's on the bottom, but I'm just showing you. Very good learner's deck. In the upright, that would be your interpretation, just a real basic interpretation. If the King of Pentacles came out like that, that would be your reverse interpretation. Very beginner friendly. I also like this deck because what it'll also do is give you these, these words here, achievements, So it also, to me, gives you something else that spirit is revealing about, that particular card, but sometimes about the particular read. That's kind of why I think, well, they're cute for one, but that's kind of why I was like, okay, let's do that one today. All right. like this, like this is not a great one. Loneliness, right? You know, and this is the Five of Pentacles, feeling on the outside of things, feeling not a part of things, can be poverty if it comes to financial things, like financial issues. But again, it kind of helps you grasp what the card is mostly about by saying that, you know, putting those there. That's what I meant about being very, it's a good one. Beginner friendly. So this is the King of Cups, creative intelligence. I think we're just, we're pulling stuff that, you know, they may have something to do with today, but that's my example. Creative intelligence, King of Cups. So we have the emblem here. That's a king, it's a crown. Masculine energy here. So you know that's the king. All right, in the cups up top. So King of Cups. Upright meaning, reverse meaning. But I do like how they put, oh, wait, I might have did that in the wrong because the card are flipped. Yeah, reverse meaning, upright meaning. But I do like how it starts off kind of with telling you creative intelligence. It kind of gives you some words on what the card is about, but also just additional words that may resonate with you. All right, anyway, I guess that was long. Abundance is at the bottom. Ace of Cups, boy. All right, I wasn't even trying to do this first. Just picked it up. I was like, oh, abundance. That's what I'm talking about. And this is the Ace of Cups. And it's like pushing it out of my hand like, no, we're going to use this. Apparently we are. Oh, and apparently we're using that one. All right, and we'll hold it for later when I get to the tarot. Well, might have to do that first because you're like, no, you're going to take it. Like, no, we're not. Ace of Cups. Okay. And Ace of Cups, let me show you again. We know our aces is like the start, the opening, the opportunities that are like the start or the beginning of something, the opening of something, like the opening of an opportunity. You know, they're a way in, you know, beginning, a start. All of our aces and cups, that's our water energy. Cups has to do with our emotions. So if we're talking about relationships, so it can be a new, you know, romantic start, or, you know, it doesn't have to be romantic energy when we're talking about relationships, but some kind of connection, right? But it can also be other things, okay? That's why the card says abundance, all right? Because it's an opening for something. It can also be about creativity, you know, or good news about something. So good news about, that's why it says abundance. Good news money-wise, or, you know, dealing with connections, like the start or beginning of a certain connection. Romantic, obviously, friendships, it's connections, business partnerships, something about connections, but it's the start or the beginning of something. All right. Don't know why Spirit was like, you're taking this, but Queen of Swords. There's her tiara. We have the feminine energy here. Swords up there, so we can see the Queen of Swords. All right. I highlighted the word responsibility. Sword energy, we know, is our air energy. It cuts through things. It's about being in the mind, you know, thinking things over, clarity in the mind. But it's also about communication and, again, discerning. She's very discerning. She discerns. Where the King of Swords will discern through rationality, you know, say data, or very, I don't want to say emotionless, but very much on like facts, data, you know, research, information, you know, gathered knowledge, very logical. She will gather information rather on her own experiences. All right. But Queen is very clear, very discerning in her communication, in her everything, and what she picks up. All right. She's like the king. She will make this energy, when I say she, make decisions, you know, logically, because it won't, just because she's gone through something, the decisions won't be made out of emotions. It'll be made from her own experience. Okay. And she'll discern that way, logically. She'll leave the emotions to the side to make her decisions. Very selective when it comes to partnerships. Very selective energy. but very cut and clear in communication. Okay? For whatever reason, we were keeping that. I didn't even get to do the oracle like I wanted to do that first, but apparently we're doing tarot first. We're going to see, I guess, what Spirit wants to communicate. I'm going to set that over, and I'll pull a few more cards. I'm going to move these incense. They're kind of near me in the beginning, getting, setting up. And I will clear all the energy and stuff off, the cards beforehand. All right, tarot it is. I love how the bottom card here is the sun. Oh. Well, rooted and rising, I have a very good hunch about this. And it doesn't seem like, Spirit is very much on connections to me with the rooted and rising. And that's why I just keep going into it. Apparently, one, Spirit is not letting it go. There is just something so beautiful in the rooted and rising family that has to do with connection energy, the pairings, and collaborations and working with other people. Because I really do feel like this is about a connection, because she's very discerning and selective, but cut and clear. She speaks her mind, but it's very clear, it's concise. This is like the new start of something. Emotionally. Yes, it can be about hearing good news about something, yes. Right? But it's like, I cannot. An opening is like a way in, all right? And if this is about a connection, the way in is what the Queen of Swords is saying, is speaking very clearly, So the way into there's a new emotional start here, or whatever. It could be a romantic partnership, some form of connection. Is the Queen of Swords is speaking up and very clear, very precise, saying it. It's not internal. All right. Very clear, very concise. Not heartless, but very clear and concise. In other words, the intentions are made clear. Put it that way. All right. It's not hidden. It's genuine. All right. It's not malicious. The intentions about this new opening here, emotional opening, is made very clear with the Queen of Swords energy here. All right. So again, it could be the masculine or the feminine opening up very clearly, but we'll see. And what made me kind of say that is because of the sun being on the bottom. The sun, I would see when the sun is open. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. You see very clearly, right? It's out in the open. It's clear. It's concise. Yeah, it's jubilant. It's joy. It's warm, but it's clear. It's out in the open. You can see it, right? And it can speak of joy, obviously, in love and connections, things like that. The warmth, jubilant energy, even vitality, life. It's all very sun energy, enthusiasm, but it's very clear out in the open. And she speaks very clearly. With her intentions are clear. The energy's intentions are very clear. And with the sun, everything is clear out in the open. It's made, as in not just feelings, everything, situations and everything are made clear. Nothing is hidden, right? Nothing is in moon energy where you've got all outside sources, but it's unseen. The sun shines bright. All right, it's seen. It's out in the open. It's clear, but it's communicated through the Queen of Swords, because Swords is about communication very clearly. Intentions are clear about a new emotional beginning or opening. That way in. Oh. That pickup line. Oh, I can't even. Let's get a couple cards. I didn't want to start with the tarot, but Spirit's like, that's what you're doing. Okay, that's what we're doing today. Rooted and rising. All right. So there's intentions that need to be made very clear here and communicated clearly. Either they need to be, this was on the bottom and I should have pulled it. All right, before I shuffled, the Three of Pentacles was on the bottom. This is about a connection. All right, and I didn't pull it. I said, let me shuffle. I shuffled and that's what came out. So I really should have just pulled the bottom, because the bottom all the time, it tells us a lot, but it's not necessarily all the time that you will take it. But apparently Spirit was like, no, you should have took it. I showed you for a reason. This is the Three of Pentacles, all right? This is collaborative energy. This is, when you work on group projects, each person kind of has something that they work on, and it's usually different from the other. Or if you collaborate in business or other aspects with other people, because they have different area of expertise, all right, and they'll work in that area and you'll work in yours, but you're collaborating to make one thing together, all right? This is collaboration, working and building with one another. The Pentacles is our earth energy, is our building energy, it's our slow build. It moves, but remember, it moves slowly, because Pentacles is longevity. It's building wealth, and not just financial wealth, but wealth all around, all right? Wealth in your home, as in a nurturing, peaceful home that's fruitful and abundant, but brings joy and vitality and everything that you really need, but also financially. All right, so this is about a connection of some kind. It doesn't have to be romantic. And I say that because it is about collaborating with others, but because the first cup is cups. The first star is about just an opening, a beginning, an opportunity, right? Emotionally, which has to do with relationships of whatever kind. Communicated very clearly, or it needs to be rooted in rising. All right, but intentions are made clear. All right, it's out in the open with the sun. The intentions are made clear, out and open in the sun. And of course, these are not ill intentions at all, because the sun is warm. It's, it's jubilant. It's joy, right? It makes you happy. You want to be out in the open and having a good time out in the sun. You know what I mean? When it's the weather's nice outside, right? It makes you feel naturally alive, right? So intentions are very good, and they're communicated about whatever this potential opening is about in the connection. And it's about wanting to collaborate and build together. Okay, I'll do one more card. Since Spirit was like, we're going to get to that deck over there, but we're going to do this first. And let's see. Death was on the bottom. And that's the ending of something. Well, when things end, things begin, right? And sometimes things have to end in order for something to begin. All right. There are shifts, right? Shifts in romantic connections, shifts in life, jobs, like careers, whatever, something's ended so something can begin. It's a shift. All right. But let's pull another card, and then we'll see if, Spirit is like, you can get to the oracles now. Oh, the moon. Oh, yeah, Rising and Rising. It's on the bottom. Oh, the Tower. Yeah. That last card on the bottom was Death, a shift, ending, beginning. Tower, something uprooted. Something totally came down, dismantled. But what card flipped out was the moon. The moon. Outside factors, that are playing into this. Rooted in Rising has gotten a lot about that. So we know about a lot of outside factors that, may have an effect on whatever kind of connection this is. All right. So where the sun is out in the open, clear clarity, the moon is kind of the opposite, lack of clarity. Things not being seen or out in the open. It can signify doubts, but it can also signify outside influences, because it's hidden, it's in the moon. You can't see it, it's not out in the open. We don't know where something is coming from. All right. And it's not necessarily a bad card. All right. So either there's something here that's not currently out in the open, or there's outside factors like we've already heard before in previous reads regarding this, influencing this connection of whatever kind it is. Or there may be a need to be, out in the open, yes, but it's new. So you may have a need to maneuver a little quietly. All right? You take that however it fits you. So we already know about a lot of outside factors. We also know about the tower moments, the dismantling of some major things in past connections and whatever else. Tower moments are no joke. It uproots. Everything's got to go. Death is a shift in something. It's the death of something ending, but something starting, which we know there's a new connection starting or an opening for one. Right? So the moon can, talk about those outside factors with other folks. All right. Things that are unseen or unclear or unknown, as in maybe it's not communicated. Or you may have a need to, keep some things to yourself. But I gotta maneuver discreetly. People like to run their mouths. Might be that. Danity King. All right. Just saying. Stealth mode. I'm not saying sneaky linking when you're not supposed to be sneaky linking. I'm just saying. All your business ain't everybody's business. You keep to yourself. You grown. Just saying. Especially since you keep getting spy energy and people who don't mind their business. You may have a need to be discreet. But we'll see what this other card is. Somebody could be clarifying this. If it doesn't clarify the moon, I will specifically clarify the moon, okay? This is the Four of Wands. Oh, wow. We're going to do one more tarot card after this. Four of Wands. Very beautiful card. Yeah, this is about a connection. Oh. You all can see it. She showed herself on the bottom, the Empress. All right. We'll take her. Flipped it over. Yeah. We'll take it. I don't know why that tickles me. I think I'm trying to read the cards and, Spirit is just tickling me. Oh, yes. Six of Cups. We'll usually talk about nostalgia. Things that were familiar. Things of the past. Reconnections at times. All right. Sometimes it's looking back fondly on something and that's what it is. Sometimes it's about reuniting. Reunited and it feels so good. So you might have been apart, and it may speak of reuniting. Reunions is what's highlighted here. And why I was laughing, I'm going to put this deck down because sometimes it's cards, I'm saying this. It's hold on, Lord have mercy. Hold on. Four of Wands came up first. All right. And Four of Wands is a family dynamic, a family structure. Okay. It is wand and fiery energy, but it speaks of celebrations. The reason why it's wand energy is because the movement it's like a celebration, public celebration, right? Public celebrations of love. It can speak of weddings. It can speak of engagements. You're having a celebration of love of sorts. Also, building a family, a family structure there. All right. Or the want to kind of do that with you. So the want to kind of get serious here. All right. Celebrate a connection. All right. Celebratory energy towards a connection. Build, not necessarily building it, but almost something more established, getting real. All right. Three of Pentacles energy is about building the connection, and Four of Wands is an open celebration of it. So it's out in the open, which is funny because it follows the moon, which is kind of more quiet energy. You know what I mean? So it looks like more like y'all going quietly to build something. Like feelings are made known and spoken very clearly. They're made known at the beginning of this, the opportunity, the pickup line. The Queen of Swords is making the pickup line. These are just the the emotional starts, the opening. Like there's an opening. At the end, obviously, it was with the Empress. There's an opening with the Empress, and Queen of Swords energy is like, okay, let me get my game up here, my pickup lines. Go get the Empress. All right, but the intentions are made clear because she speaks very clearly out in the open about intentions and what the energy about what she wants. All right, and they're clear, they're open, they're joyful, they're pure, they're jubilant. It's good intentioned communication energy. All right, about wanting to build something real that lasts, achieve something together and collaborate and work with one another, building the connection. But there is moon energy, so that's either outside influences that won't mind their business, hidden things, or the outside people you can't see, they don't mind their business, but you already know kind of about that, or the need to kind of build privately, as in just do what you do, and people will know and celebrate you out in the open when it's time. All right, again, that's some kind of celebration of a connection. Weddings, engagement parties, just being introduced to the family, something made more serious but celebrated with the fire energy. Woo, you know what I mean? All right, then came the Empress on the bottom. So it must be with the Empress. All right, you all know the Empress, and very sensual energy. She's committed, she's nurturing, she's abundant, prosperous energy, generosity, abundance in all areas, like I said, but financial abundance. All right, she can grow things, she can nurture. Queen of Pentacles can nurture. Queen will make it abundant, if that makes sense. Queen, the Empress, is abundance, not just financially, all around. And then it seems to be some kind of reunion. So the celebration here, to me, comes after it's like going inside and cultivating something so that it can become serious or get serious with the Empress, and they can get their reunited energy. The reunion, you know what I mean, of the energies, so however your pairings are. Again, it can be out in the open. And none of this is out in the open to me after the moon they go in. Because while they're going in, while they're cultivating in that wand energy, building the connection. That's what that celebration is about. Oh, Jesus, I can't. They didn't win in. Privately to celebrate. I don't know why it tickles me, but that's what that's celebrating that one energy. Finally, it's happened. Okay, stop. To me. To go mind their business, celebrating this wine energy with the Empress. So they can reunite. I can't. Oh, reading rising. Yes, Lord, enjoy that celebration energy. But that's why things got serious, because they were in there celebrating. Okay, I'm just saying. Celebrating with the Empress. Celebrating. All right. King of Wands was controlling that wand for a long time. And now he gets to celebrate. Celebration. Celebrating good times, right? Celebrate good times. That's what brings the reconnection. So this moon energy seems to be more about going inside and minding your business and getting in this wand energy and cultivating. Celebrating in the wand energy with the Empress. Okay. All right. Spirit is being cheeky today. So we have our emotional beginning. And reviewing the lesson plan, reviewing the lesson, the opening, the potential, the start. Queen of Swords says, I got this. Got it. You know, that's the pickup line. It's your game, but it's not really a game because she is very discerning in truth. She speaks truth. She's not reversed where she's speaking nonsense. She's upright. She's speaking truth and in clarity about her intentions, which are good and warm and full of joy, vitality, love. All right, about wanting to, Three of Pentacles, build something very real, very long term, and collaborating. But, you know, they do have a need to, you know, go in privately to mind their business and celebrate in this one energy and get their celebration on. Seems to be the Emperor because he wants to celebrate with the Empress so they can reunite. All right, or have some sort of reunion. So this is familiar energy. Even though it's a new opening or new start, this connection is something familiar. So unless this is in someone that you've already kind of met and connected with, and it's still new love, but somebody that you already know. A past connection, you know, where reconciliation occurred. All right, something like that. Or for those, you know, who, you know, are into that kind of thing, a past life relationship. Okay, and for others, that's story time. But there's something familiar about the connection because it's in the Six of Cups energy, which is about reconnecting or reunions, but it is about nostalgia. There's something familiar there or some sort of past connection or a familiar connection. Somebody that you've met before. All right. Or for past life energies, you feel like you've already known this person or this energy before. All right. All right, so the main goal for Spirit is definitely communication. All right. And there seems to be a need, once again, to go mind your business privately, you know, which is nothing wrong with that. Again, last reading, you know, you don't owe audacities anything. It's not their business. So go do you and cultivate that relationship in that moon energy. Go celebrate with the Four of Wands energy. That's fiery energy. It's a celebration. Yes, a celebration with others. But the moon says that's a private celebration. The Empress with the Empress. All right. You go ahead and work that out. Let's see what. Oh, yeah. We're going to see what this Oracle deck has to say. Oh, we're going to use this one too. All right. So we'll use the Bibliophile Oracle deck that has a guidebook. And then this one is on, what is it? Like, what is it? On timing, Cosmic Timing Oracle deck. We'll pull from there. And then we may clarify a couple cards to kind of see timing-wise what they're talking about. All right. Yeah. There's a need to move a little, you know, just a little more discreetly. We already know the spy energies and other things. And there might be other things going on as well, especially if anyone in the connection does have, I don't know, maybe children or you have to explain things to. So you can't just really, you know what I mean? Just enter and just do your thing without explaining to children what's going on too. So you might want to cultivate first and then explain. But there seems to be a need for that. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that is the best way to go anyway, you know. Best way to go anyway. All right, let's do this one really quick. Oh, never mind. Excuse me. I'm gonna do the timing one first. What is the timing on just, I guess, this? Or we'll see what will we get timing wise and what they want to communicate. We'll clarify it with tarot and maybe other oracles that could do that too. All right, let's see what we get about timing. And let's, okay, there's something about the winter. All right, in the winter. So something in the winter is very significant for somebody, according to spirit and cards. Obviously, we're only going to take resonance. Got something going on. And, wow. We're going to pull a couple more because we're going to clarify things. Something very soon. So what card that is. In divine timing. That's beautiful. And this connection is about divine timing anyway. And that may be pretty vague to some people, but it also just speaks that the connection or whatever as a whole has always been in divine timing. That everything that has happened has rolled out in divine timing and order. The total dismantling, all right? Even meeting during the dismantling or whatever else. And, you know, going through a whole process of maybe separation and then coming back together when it means that everything was going according to divine timing. All right, so you're not going to get out and away from it. But it also means divine timing also means divinely orchestrated and also means divine protection. All right, as in it's going to happen. That's why these outside factors can act a fool if they want to. They can't interfere with divine timing. It is what it is. So we have in winter and in divine timing. All these cards that want to fall out. And I guess I'm taking all these because they fell on the desk. There's only, oh, excuse me, I was going to pull it. My God. I was taking it out of my hand. My goodness. Next week. I'm not really sure about what that means, but we'll, again, we're going to clarify these things. I already kind of spoke on divine timing. Shot it out my hand like you going to pull that card. I wasn't going to keep it in my hand, Spirit. Gosh, I was going to do it. Oh, all of these. All right, no. Oh, I see. That's because they were like, no, not these. This is what I was trying to say. All right, next week. We'll get one more card. I got it. All right, excuse me. I was going to take all of those. And I'm like, no, this one. I got it. Excuse me. As my grandmother would say, excuse me for breathing hard. All right. Okay, yeah, that was the one. In the spring. Okay, oh, Jesus. Yeah, oh, yeah, everything's turning like, Let me set this over here. This is right now. Oh, my Jesus. Okay. We'll clarify some things. I'm going to take a sip of this, Lord. Got the stir and sip, y'all. Stir and sip. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clarify divine timing. I'm going to move up this oracle deck that I wanted to use. We will still use it. But I think we're going to use it at the end. Okay. Let me set that up there. So, in divine timing, I kind of explained that. You know? And then I rearranged the timing cards in the order that, you know, they go in, and then the order the time of year comes in. Oh. Tarot cards that, oh, Jesus. That's beautiful. All right. All right. The cards that came out, Tarot. I wanted to use Tarot for divine timing. The other ones, I think I will use Oracle. this card in divine timing. I don't know if I ever showed it. I never know how this is going to look on here. Anyway, in divine timing. So we have the Eight of Swords. Remember, sword energy is mental energy. See how it's restriction? That's about like being in your mind, like the mind trap. You're trapped, but it's in the mind. So you're not really trapped. Traditional tarot will usually show the man like wrapped up all in the bandages and the swords all around them. So again, at any moment, they could free themselves. So that the swords, they could unwrap the bandages with one of the swords. But yet it's in their mind. So they're still there trapped. So it's a lot of mental things going on. So in divine timing, though, this falls away. And what happens is the Ten of Cups. That's so beautiful. You got to know. Oh, gotta show you the card. Sorry. Ten of Cups is like ultimate joy. And it even says happiness here. But it's like ultimate. It's like the top of happiness in a connection. Cups are emotional connections, right? In a connection. It is true joy, right? It is not like just like the Nine of Cups, like wishes fulfilled and wish fulfillment. It is abundant. Yes. It is above that. Right? It's just ultimate joy. Ultimate joy and ultimate satisfaction emotionally in your emotional connections, even romantic connections or otherwise. All right, you are at the pinnacle of joy. I think traditional tarot, I think it shows like a rainbow with the cups and they're out. I think it's a family out and it's like the rainbow and they're just living their best lives. All right, so in divine timing, this falls away is what they're saying. So the mental trap, all of the thoughts and everything going on, you know what I mean? Anxieties and all this kind of stuff falls away. All right. And what replaces it is this, ultimate feelings of joy and happiness with one another in connections. All right. Let's use an oracle deck because we haven't. Curiosity. Or should we use? We'll see. Let's see what this is about. For next week. What's going on with next week? I was like, what is with this card? Like, I keep throwing it, can't keep it in my hand. My Lord. Big man. How mad are you, big man? Ain't nobody mad but the devil. Somebody's big man. Won't let me hold the card. Oh, we don't care. Who cares? Anyway, what's this next week about according to curiosity? It doesn't mean we'll just stay with this one deck. We may have to go to others, but let's see. That's what he meant. Big break. I don't know about. I'll clarify with that card and be. Wow. Something about a big break. Big break. A major moment is brewing. This could be the launch, the offer, or the shout out that changes everything. Big break is a lot of things, okay? That's associated with next week. Next week can also apply to next month because next week will be July, right? It'll be a new month. So it could also just be next month. All right, because we can't take time literally. All right, next week is next month. So maybe next month. Big break for somebody, some of you, period. It applies. All right. I'm going to clarify big break. But I believe I know what this is. But anyway, freedom is coming tomorrow. All right. Sarah, I have to always mention it because it's not my song. Serafina, the movie, old movie. I believe that movie was about Nelson Mandela. Oh yeah. Be like, all right, let's try this. Yeah, some jacks I'm like, yeah. Let me tell you this. First card on the bottom was Drama Queen. So big break. Likely is that. Big break from that. All right. But let's see what this deck has to say about this big break. Clarifying the big break. A break from toil and labor. Manual work, low wage, monotonous obligation. Again, Oracle, sometimes you will take certain portions of it and not all of it. If this is a connection, the connection is toil and labor. It's very 10 of Wands energy. 10 of Wands is the wands are all on one guy's back and he's hunched over and he's pulling a heavy load. So he's pulling it. All right. That's like toil and labor and work. All right. Manual work, labor. It's toil. You know, it's hard. It's a burden. Big break from that burden of whatever kind. Could be a connection or something else. I'll clear. That's what I wanted to come out. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is, again, put yourself in whatever energy. It doesn't mean it doesn't have anything to do with the divine feminine. Big break from the toil and labor or the burden is likely a connection. That's what next week is associated with. Wealthy man, ambition, opportunities, calculated risks. We don't need that. They just want to let you know that it's the masculine energy. The big break is about toil and labor, monotonous, some kind of obligation. The burden, 10 of Wands energy is regarding the masculine energy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, bad health. Restriction is what you're really focused on. Bad health. Element, restriction, isolation. So it's the restriction that you're breaking from. All right. Yeah. We're not going to... Hey, nobody, man. Let me stop. Big man. Big man. Energy is pissed off. Still pissed. Next we have in the winter. Let's clarify what that means. What's that about? Oh, I guess this one's looking at me. Let's do Urban Truth. And I don't mind it because I'm trying to get familiar with working with it, getting used to it. Newer decks and we haven't worked with it. You just kind of have to work with it to get used to it and get a sense of what you know, how it's used. In the winter, what came out is prioritize your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your energy is precious. Choose where you place it. So that's, I don't know how that's significant to the winter. All right, we'll do one more from this deck and then we'll move on to a different deck to clarify the winter. Maybe the tarot if we need to. And I'll use a different tarot deck maybe because we've used quite a bit of cards from this deck. So sometimes if Spirit wants to use the same card, I shall use this one over here because those names, I think a couple of those images we can't use. So yeah, anyway, let's do... That was just me having to burp. That wasn't like, oh, saying something. Just saying. All right, mixed emotions. You feel excited and scared at once. Your heart can't choose a direction. Both possibilities feel real. Mixed emotions. What we got going on in the winter? So they want you to prioritize your energy, and there's some mixed emotions going on about the winter. Bottom card says protect your peace. Your calm is sacred. Choose silence over chaos. Not everything deserves a reaction. Sounds like boundary energy. So something like we're going to have some drama about something in the winter. So they're telling you prioritize your energy. There's some kind of mixed emotions about something going on in the winter, but they still want you to prioritize your energy and they want you to protect your peace. Boundaries. Because it looks like whatever connection, this is about freedom came. So boundaries means there's everything ain't everybody's boundaries and move on. You owe no explanations. You can go mind their business. All right, Cosmic Oracle Insight. I was laughing at the top one. All right, in the winter, we have to... That's not what I wanted to grab, but I got it, so it must be what we're grabbing. In the winter, let's see what this deck has to say about in the winter. I don't know what that was that flipped. Okay, for whatever reason, I'm having a hard time holding on to these. Oh. Open your heart. It will help you attract more love. Something about that in the winter from this deck. And let's see. Did that flip? Oh, it keeps wanting me to put in intimacy. Something about intimacy. I'm putting it down. Wow, sassy today. Sexual chemistry, reminiscing, intimacy. Maybe that's why you got to prioritize your energy. All right, one more from this deck and we'll do another one. Yep, I see it. Like y'all got some. Oh, y'all. And when I say y'all, I'm not like y'all. This is you, judgy. But you seem to have past energies that don't want to accept that they are no longer in the picture. Every card that's showing itself to me is about past energies in this deck. It didn't come out, but most cards are not very good cards. Sexuality. Someone's still figuring themselves out. Challenges. All right. So we know about what prioritizing energy and mixed emotions protect. We don't know about what mixed emotions are about. We know what protect your peace is about. Challenges. Make a decision. Work on inner healing. So there's some sort of challenges coming along with the winter. Y'all, some of y'all still dealing with this energy. All right, they want your money being used. Doesn't seem to want to accept things. That'd be it. Oh, Jesus. That's what it is. Oh, what's this one? Jesus. That's what I figured. Oh, my God. All right. That's me figuring out if I want to take this card or not. About to throw it a bit. Let me take a sip here. Cause if it is what it really is, y'all gonna have some big mad. Is finna be more than big mad. It's finna be furious. Let him be mad. All right, rooted in rising. Put this deck away. Taking no more out of this thing. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. This one would also say, Tarot would do it too. Oh, Jesus. All right. We'll clarify this one. What is the dog? I'm like, what is that sound? That was the dog making a weird sound. What's that? Let me take out this tarot deck, the winding path. We might need to use it here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it is. Okay. We're doing it. And you saw her Three of Swords and the top was poking out from this deck. I'll show it to you. Big mad is going to be big mad. Matter. All right. Audacity is going to blow her top. All right. This is not for all of you, okay? Again, only what resonates, only what applies. You're right. It may not resonate with you. All right. Anyway, okay. For some of you, this is what it is. All right. Someone is expecting. All right. Big man is finna blow their gasket. All right. You need to protect your peace. That means boundaries. And big man can be big mad because freedom is coming tomorrow. What right do they? That don't mean all of you. Figuring something out could be something with and opening up your heart, figuring something out can have a lot to do with this. A lot goes into that. Again, it doesn't always mean literal pregnancy. Expecting could be you put something out there, you're expecting to hear something back. Just like for those where a lot of the readings about waiting to hear something about a court date, that's expecting. All right. But since freedom is coming tomorrow over here, it seems like some of you, not all of you, Big Mad is going to blow the gasket because Big Mad feels entitled. Protecting your peace, it means, again, it's none of their business, so who cares? Let them be mad. All right, we'll clarify that maybe. I told you I had to take a sip sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if I want to say that, but okay. I'm not saying it's bad news. I'm just saying it's going viral. It's clarifying pregnancy. Visibility is off the charts and the energy is contagious. This moment has reach, reactions, and recognition. All right, it's visible, as pregnancy is when you start to show. For some of you, that's what it's about. Oh, I'm just laughing, boy. Oh, if y'all thought drama was bad now. You wait for that. Okay. I'm not going to actually, sober life. With no distractions or substances to blur to the view. What's real is finally visible. From here, better choices are possible. Yeah. So if this is not literal pregnancy for everybody, what it means is, because this one was on the bottom, the sober life. What it means for this timing card in the winter. With no distractions or substances to blur the view, what's real is finally visible, as in, seems like divine masculine, seem very clear here. Both energies are, though. From here, better choices are possible. Again, because you mirror each other, all right? One's dealing with foolishness, usually the other one is too, some shape, fashion, or form. But whatever it is, what the winter is signifying, the better choice, is that you, in some way, shape, fashion, form, your choice, that's the better choice according to this card, is solidified. All right. Doesn't always mean everybody is getting, having a literal pregnancy here. Again, expecting. Even if you all decided to really, will you stop that. If you decided to really do this, and that's very, or elope or something like that, something about this season makes this connection really real, all right? Where it's not going to, it's not a fly-by-night thing like the past energy would want. But you never were that way. Either parties were never that. All right? So something about the winter really solidifies it. That's the problem. If it's not literally expecting, again, there's other things you're expecting. You may be building a home together. You know what I mean? Maybe getting some sort of getting serious. All right, where Big Mad is like, this was supposed to be over. It was supposed to end. Um, you know, it was supposed to only be maybe a month, a fling, a rebound. The card that I forgot to clarify the last reading was Back Together from the Curiosity deck. And it was like they're back together or something like that. But how long will it last? Let me see if I can find it. And basically, that's what it was. It was like, yeah, they're together, but it won't last. It's just a rebound. It's not serious. Just a fly-by-night. Just something to do. That was the talk or the hope of the drama queen over here. But something... because that card I just saw. Like, but something about the winter. This is Back Together. The honeymoon round 2 has begun, but the real tease in how long will it last? I never clarified that the other day. That's what this is about. This is lasting. All right. Whether it's literal this, or you all may be coming together and deciding that we're going to move together, moving in together, or something that is a structure that is committed, as in divine masculine, divine feminine, is not going anywhere. So Big Mad is more than pissed, blowing the gasket over here. That's why the challenges are there. And if some of you are having a literal this, challenges may not be, there's problems with that. But, you know, setting up structures. If you don't live together, we're living together. Do we live together? Do we jump the broom and get married? Do we do this? The setting things up. Just getting things prepared. All right. That's why this is pissed off. Because you were not supposed to last. And you are. That's what the winner's about. Is that you're not going anywhere. Divine masculine, divine feminine. Both of you. All right. That's about both of you. Going viral. Something is, you know, out in the open and visible now. Which will be if some of you are literally this. Or if some of you are, you know, actually jumping the broom. Wherever that card is. If some of you are, you know, actually getting married. Either way it goes, it signifies to this that you're not going nowhere. And that is causing you, rooted and rising, to have to protect your peace, as in none of your business. Mixed emotions, maybe going back and forth, excited and scared at once. If it's an actual wedding, that can make you nervous. If it's pregnancy and that's something new, those emotions can come up too. Protect your peace and prioritize your energy. Those who are literally expecting needs their energy. And if you got a drama queen, gold digger over here that won't let go, that too, you got to put them in their place. They should have no business in your business anyway. Again, audacity, but audacity energy, they don't care. They feel entitled to know and to be in your business. Entitlement. All right? And to stir shit up and just to make things difficult for the sake of it. All right? That is what the winter is about. Well, we have not finished spring on the spring. Let's see about spring. The winter was very interesting. See, that was earlier from that tarot. That was that moon energy. Going in, celebrating that 4-1 energy privately with the Empress. Too much of that. It's not for everybody. I'm just saying. Again, it still can be expecting something else. All right, not just literally expecting, you know. But you might be expecting actually something you put out there you hear from, and that may be around that time that you hear from it. And whatever it is, it still solidifies something that wasn't, that in somebody else's mind, you know, was supposed to not last. It may solidify, like, okay, this answer came, now we can move forward. It could also be that, all right? It doesn't have to be literally that. Okay, but for some who want that, then that's good news for you, okay? Just saying, just putting it out there, all right? All right, last one, in the spring. And we will close it out again, because I'm always longer than what I always what I want to be. Well, let's see what's going on in spring. All right. Excuse me. I will take another sip. Just very dry throat. Wheels are turning. Deck is always staring at me. What is going on in the spring? Let's use let's use True or False Flame. Oh, this one's cute too. I like this deck. It's cute, so I want to see what it has to say. Just because it's so cute. The cards are just so little and so cute. Yeah, domestic bliss. Y'all are coming together. All right. What does things look like for rooted and rising in the spring? Let's clarify that. All right. New adventures. You keep getting this card. Whether it's road trips or soul quests, you're in it together. This love is a passport to the kind of life you used to only dream about. Now, let me make this clear. For those who, excuse me, excuse me. Oh my, because this card is, yo, sorry, I inherited a dirty mind. I have it. And he was just sitting there staring at me like, Let me stop. I have to. I won't go in. I have to focus. Okay. In the spring, new adventures. For those where this energy is literal, you have to know that the timing from now to spring would bring a new adventure. Okay? I'm just saying. All right. Where it's literal for some, not all. All right. What also came out is future vision. This is not just about today. You both look ahead and see each other there, and you're walking toward it hand in hand. Again, big mad in the winter. That's why you guys solidified your connection. All right. And the realization that this isn't ending is there. I'm only going to do one more from this deck because I'm curious to see what the other one has to say. And I'm going to see maybe what the tarot has to say. Keep staring at me. Big mad. Battle of egos. Battle of egos. What is that about? You're not building a relationship when you're fighting to be right. Love can't grow where ego refuses to let go. Let's see whose energy that is. If that is rooted in right, does it? Just because it's a divine masculine, divine feminine, divine connection does not mean it doesn't come with issues. Just seeing. What did I do with that deck? Oh yeah, that one. I'll do it. All right, let's see whose energy this is. Let's see what that's about. And if I don't get it from here, we'll have to do the tarot. Of course, all these cards wanted to fall out. Cards everywhere. All right, what's this about? Battle of the egos. And whose energy is this? Divine masculine, divine feminine, but somebody else's. What is this about? Battle of the egos. Okay. Poker face. Hiding true feelings. Impossible to read. Emotionally detached. You'll never know. Are we doing this again? Battle of the egos. Let's do one more about that. Deja vu, repeating patterns, familiar lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before. And I'll do one more from this day because I don't think this is, yeah. Oh, yeah. The bottom was no breadcrumbing. Divine timing is at play. A patience required, trusting the process, perfect timing when it's meant to be. And then one more card. That's what it's about. Okay. All right. I don't know what the hell. Unread. Ignored messages. We are going to talk about this card. Ignore messages. Waiting anxiously. No replies. Maybe they're just busy. Breadcrumbing kept showing. It didn't pop out. So unread did. I don't know. Divine masculine, divine feminine. What kind of energy you got? XYs. But they ain't letting it go. Let go. Releasing grudges, emotional freedom, forgiving yourself and others. Free your heart. It is not about rooted in rising, letting go. This is past energy because I was like, unread. Well, who's unread? Unread is about not letting go. Divine masculine, divine feminine, whichever one this is about, is not paying this past energy any mind. Divine timing says it'll resolve. We'll get it. And that's what it is. We've been here before. Here we go with this. Here we go with this nonsense again, with this bullshit. All right, rooted in rising is doing this. Like, can we stop it? All right, that's what this is about. They are big mad about this future vision and these new adventures. All right, and I think y'all are going somewhere with that. I don't think wherever you're at, I don't think you're going to stay still. All right, that's why I said about pregnancy is not just about literal pregnancy. Oh, yeah. Let me go. Let me see what this little deck has to say about Battle of the Egos. Maybe pull one tarot, then we'll end this. Something flipped over. No, a couple of them did, but let's see. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify with a card. Justice is coming. Look at it trying to fall away. Big man. Justice is coming about Battle of the Egos. This is the past. Keep trying to resurface. Here it is all the way in the spring. That's next year, right? And Big Mad is still Big Mad. All right. That's why this came out about, here we go again. All right. Divine masculine, divine feminine is keeping a poker face like. But divine timing says justice is coming. Like, we're going to resolve this. It's coming. Because they're being left on read because they refuse to let go. Because, again, you were not supposed to last. And you are. But we'll clarify with the tarot about in the spring, just in case there's some other things going on or happening in the spring. Oh, let's see what this deck has to say about it. In the spring. What's this? Oh, awesome. Oh. Yeah, they're doing something going on in the spring. It's time for nonsense. Okay, this deck is like, I'm gonna re-emphasize it in the spring. Big Mad is just triggered. Emotional reactions, unresolved wounds, facing past hurts. Why does this bother me? Big Mad is upset about going viral. The better choice. The wedding day, engagement, or something that solidifies the connection, moving in together. Possible pregnancy, whatever that looks like for you. If it's just expecting something to come in May, that's in May. In the spring, that's big, or literal, this is triggered. Why they would care next year, when freedom is coming tomorrow. I don't know. You don't want me. You don't want me. I don't understand holding on. You could just be all this time wasting on somebody else. You could be moved on. Let me use the tarot real quick and we'll get out of here, okay? What is this in the spring energy about? I'll re-show the cards since it's been a little bit here. What is this in the spring for the Ritter and Rising? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Calmer waters. Y'all are leaving. All right. It's darker over here. Calmer over here. Y'all keep getting this. Whatever it is, y'all going to clearer waters. All right. Clearer waters ahead. And this Six of Swords is what that means. The better choice. It could even look like a journey together. Yeah. All right. Clear waters and the Magician. That's manifesting something kind of with your own effort. So something's coming out in the open. Going on to clear waters. There's something manifested. Something came forth. Literal pregnancy. Yeah, that could be it. But again, if you put something out there that you were working on, that may be because, you know, Empress energy is nurturing energy that can be, you know, she could have held it and then said, here you go. All right, here's the answer. Here's the opportunity. Here's the thing. All right, which is taking you on to clearer waters. All right, for those where that's not literal. All right, because some with Tarot Oracle, you can't always, it is literally this something. Yeah, that card was at the bottom. Oh, yeah, Lord. We'll do a couple more. My mind goes all over the place when I'm trying to do stuff. I got multiple things going. I got to thinking of a spirit. Okay, but I got to thinking. I'm like, Lord, I got to go put that food up. I was looking at the time. You know, I had made some stew for dinner. I was like, I got to go put that in the refrigerator. That's where my mind went. All right, 10 of Wands, the heavy load, the burden. Traditional tarot, again, that's when I was talking earlier about that energy of, you know, freedom is coming, the burden's lifted, where he's carrying the heavy load. She's carrying it upstairs, like bringing in a heavy package. That's the 10 of Wands. Some of you, that's labor. Okay, not all, some. Others, if this is not about that, going on to clear waters and something manifesting, you know, maybe an opportunity. And this labor or these burdens may just be you know, organizing everything to go. So if you're going on a trip or a journey, or you're relocating, you're moving, it becomes not a burden, but there is a lot of labor and energy that goes to organizing where you're going to go, packing. You know, are we getting new stuff? Are we putting stuff in storage? You know, are we taking it with us? Are we getting the truck? You know, all of those things. All right. It could signify both of those things. And we'll do one more. Yeah. Nine of Wands. Defense mode. Yeah. Y'all got a lot of... You still got a lot of people in your energy, in your business, even here, rooted and rising. This has been on defense mode. Traditional tarot will show that he's, you know, that person's a little worn and torn, but still standing. So you've been through a battle, but you're still standing. You're still guarding. You're still defending. All right. Still in that if you're feeling froggy jump energy. All right. But, you know, you're tired because you've been battling. All right. We already know that if you still got delusional over here, triggered. Right? I said delusional over here, triggered. Look at the bottom. legal binding contracts, unhealthy ties, you know. It is a refusing to let go because it's almost like an obsession. And you know how some people who, I'm trying to, what's a safe word to use for social media? Some people who monitor people excessively, there's another word for that, right? And need certain orders put in place. That's what they got. It's an unhealthy obsession with something or someone. Like they cannot let go. All right. It's not love. It's an unhealthy tie. Which we know is there because why would you need to be triggered about something that ended in this year? And about the time spring comes, that's next year. This is the last card and I will end it. Yeah. You didn't rising. All right, Page of Pentacles. Get this out of the way. Sorry, just hold on. All right, so Page of Pentacles. It's in the page stage. Okay. Anyway, what am I doing? Page of Pentacles. Let me put this deck down. This is the last one. Yeah. This is going to cause someone, again, is on the outside at a loss. We already know triggered here is unhappy. Outside of something, at a loss. Just distraught. All right, but we're going to put the deck down because I don't want to see any more, any more cards to talk about. All right, so Page of Pentacles. All right. Again, our pages is our beginner stages. They're usually learners. You're still learning something because you're at a page level. You're not at it. You didn't make it to the king level yet, but this is a page. All right. It could be a new opportunity. Like I said, is what this card symbolizes. It's like a new opportunity. It's new. It's a start, a new beginning for something. So a new opportunity. Where the aces is like an opening to a beginning, a potential. The page is like, you know, that potential has manifested because ace goes first. The potential is there, you know, and now we're learning. All right. It's like starting a new job. All right. The opportunity was there. You applied. You had the interview. And that's the opening. And now you got hired is the page. So you got hired and you've got to learn the job. Right. Page energy is learning energy. Studying, learning, practicality, again, stable energy. Building something still, but at a very early stage, you know. Yeah. But, again, new opportunities, what it could represent. But it also, this is earth energy. It's tangible. Real life, tangible. Feel it, right? This can also, for people where this literally applies to them, can signify a new life, a baby. So we got devil energy here, pissed off by either some new opportunity, especially if it's the betrayal energy that was there. So if it's a new opportunity, it's not a small thing and it's taking you somewhere and they're pissed off about that. And again, it's with the better choice. So that is just, you know, out of this world, pissing them off. Or it's a, you know, actual baby. And that is pissing them off. So double meanings for wherever that applies, you know. Okay. Wow. I didn't think the timing cards were going to take us there, rooted in rising. But it did. Oh, well, let me take a sip of this coffee because apparently we're going there. Okay. But Big Mad is going to be Big Mad for some time, it looks like. Freedom is coming very soon from this energy. Disturbances seem to be something that's happening. So we got a lot of moon energy. That, again, that's that outside noise. But it also signifies the need for you all to just be more discreet, private, not hidden as in a secret. It doesn't need to be that. Just your business is your business. You know, you go cultivate it privately. All right. so you can diminish the outside noise and the entitlements energy. Right? I was going to pull from the Bibliophile Oracle. I ain't did that yet. We'll end with one card and then we'll call it a day. All right? Paulaner is the author and the finisher of our faith. I don't know what Bible verse that is. Let's just end with one card. What do we want to end with for Rooted and Rising? Just one card from this deck. No, it's a little bit. Everything is a sign in spirituality. It's a sign. People will say when your nose is itching when you're giving readings. It's a sign. Tuck it back in. What is this one? The mystery. Ooh. One did flip. The reading light. I love these cards so much. The reading light. And like I said, I will read from... My Lord. The reading light. I said, what did I say? I will read from their book. All right. So that's warm. That's like sun energy. Warmth, light, hope. Okay, rooted and rising. For those who are not familiar, the sun energy is warmth, light, hope. Things out in the open, out in the clear, like we mentioned earlier with the tarot, making things known, like the intentions that the Queen of Swords energy was communicating was coming from a very good place. It's also a card that can also signify this. So for some of you, it is literally this. This, the reading light, warmth, light, hope. It's kind of mirroring that. All right, bring something into the light, but, you know, this is reiterating the sun as in bringing something to the light. Queen of Swords energy, as you can hear me say, and I'll read it now and finish it and let you hear it. All right, but I'm just letting you know that the sun can also speak of expecting energy, okay? So the reading light, warmth, light, hope. Bring something into the light, as in, yeah, cultivate privately, but out in the open, not secretly. Two different things. Bring something into the light. Share a feeling that you've pushed down. Make a confession. Queen of Swords. All right. Or be vulnerable with someone you love and describe something that's been troubling you. By bringing this matter into the light, you can resolve it. All right. You can go into that moon energy privately and celebrate your wand energy with the Empress. I didn't say it. That's what the card said, okay? Anyway, by bringing this matter into the light, you can resolve it rather than letting it fester. You know, why have all that pent up energy? Release it. It's not good to hold it all into yourself. Alternatively, the reading light can invite you to bring warmth into someone else's life. How could you be a beacon of light for somebody else? What is a small way you could make the world a brighter place? All right, this is reiterating the sun energy in the beginning when we pulled tarot, that the Queen of Swords was communicating the intentions, and the intentions were good. They were light, warm, joy. This is reiterating the need to communicate that so that you can go celebrate that wand energy, the Four of Wands with the Empress, okay? And then then reconnect with the Six of Cups that was at the end, okay? Because you all went inside to mind your business together and celebrate, right? With the Four of Wands and the Emperor went to celebrate with the Empress, okay? That's what's needed, rooted and rising. Now, look, I didn't say it. That's what the card said, okay? I'll end it there, okay? Big mad is going to be big mad. Let them be mad. Divine timing and divine order said, we got this. All right. Hold your peace. Hold your boundaries. All right. But we got this. Some of y'all are going on a journey, and the journey may be fatherhood, motherhood for some. But some of y'all are literally going on a journey, going somewhere. All right. Calmer water is really going somewhere. So you put something out there that you worked on that's kind of coming to fruition. All right. Okay. All right. As always, stay rooted, stay rising, and aligned with all the divine gifts ahead.